I've never heard of Robert Hossein before. Radiance Films released the Wicked Games, 3 films by Robert Hossein. Now, when I first heard about this release and I read about it, I said to myself, those are 3 films made specifically for me. 2 of the films are a film noir, a prison escape film, and a man entering the life of 2 beautiful women, sisters, and the third, a Western. To top it all off, they're in French. And recently, I've been putting in a part of my cinephile diet to watch more French films. Yes, I've never heard of Robert Hossein before this, but I am going to actively search his films. Before I go on, I have to say Radiance Films USA supplied me with reviewer copies. I am eternally grateful for this, for them taking a chance on me. Thank you, Radiance. Now, for my viewers, this does not blind me on the quality of the films. I will give you my critiques and honest opinions about the films and whatever films Radiance sends me in the future. That being said, let's get to the review. The first film in the collection is The Wicked Go to Hell. Now, this would be Robert's first film as a director, but he was already a seasonal actor, most notably Rafifi. If you're a fan of the Criterion Collection, you know quite a bit about that film and its director, but Robert Hossein is one of the main characters in that film. I haven't seen Rafifi, actually. It's one of my big blind spots in my film library, but maybe one day I'll rectify that. The Wicked Goes to Hell are about 2 prisoners trying to escape from prison. The whole film is shower over this question of who ratted on their cellmate. The 2 prisoners had a third prisoner, a cellmate, who was ratted on and executed. And this hits news all over town and all over the prison. And, you know, they don't know who did it. Everyone says it's one of them and the other one says it's the other. And I love that, right? Giving that ambiguousness to the film. This question of trust. And that's very noir, if you ask me. And I don't really want to spoil much about any of these films, but once these guys escape, it becomes a different movie. It does become an intruder in a house film, which is the next film actually in this set. But this film also counts as The Wicked Goes to Hell, while the 2 prisoners go to a beach house and they intrude on the artist and his muse. To that end, it becomes kind of this, it's not a love triangle, it's the muse almost putting the 2 prisoners against each other, and it's pretty beautiful. To be fair, I do think the first 45 minutes was stronger than the second 45 minutes. The opening scene is at the it's like a little church inside the prison, and you see this ballet of prisoners walking through it, and they're stopping and stomping, and it was quite beautiful, quite breathtaking. And, you know, again, faith is kind of within this whole film the whole time. You know, trust. Who can you believe? What can you do? What's good for you? Should you help your fellow people? It's you know, faith and religion is throughout the whole film. Definitely a good film. Not my favorite of the collection. It was very noir, which if you watch my other films, I love, and I would definitely highly recommend. The special features were really good as well. A great special feature about Robert's filmography and how he got started, and he wasn't supposed to be the director of Wicked Go to Hell, but it kind of fell onto him to do it. And then it gave a little history on the film. It was like a book, and then it was a play, and then it became the film, and the film is way different than the play. I kind of loved it, right? It may not have been a book. I don't quote me on that, but it was definitely a play, and the movie was different, and Robert Hossein is also a screenwriter on that as well. He's a screenwriter on all these films, I believe. Great film, highly recommended. Not my favorite of the 3, but definitely good. The next film is A Nude in a White Car. And I gotta say, this is by far the weakest of the three. It stars Robert Hossein as this writer, poetry writer who's on the station. I don't know. I believe it's probably radio, but it could be TV. And he, is kind of lost, and he gets, lost in his life, not in physically lost. And one day he gets picked up by this woman in a white car, and it alludes to a, sexual relationship, a sexual act, you should say, that happens. And we don't know who the woman was, and she tries to run him over, and that sends Robert to searching for them, and he does find the car, and he finds two women, two sisters, in fact. One who is the caregiver of another one who is paralyzed, or I think it was polio they had. And again, I'm not trying to spoil the film, but it is a like the first film, a man comes into this house, and it kind of starts to have strife between the sisters. He doesn't put them up against each other, and it's not like a crime thing either. He's just trying to figure out what's going on, and they both of the sisters fall in love with the man, and kind of like, is he supposed to choose, or does he just not? Again, I don't want to tell you the whole film, but this film, even though I'm saying it's my least favorite out of the three, it's definitely not bad. Definitely not bad. A good 7 out of 10. The cinematography is beautiful. All these films are in black and white, and it is gorgeous. All three films are gorgeous looking films. Price and the Mission alone is just to look at them. They're gorgeous looking movies. And with this premise, the film does all right. Again, there's other films like this, and this is trying to be less genre oriented. It's more of a melodrama. So if you're not into melodramas, you're not really going to enjoy this film. But I believe Robert Hossein does great acting, and the two other women as well. One of the women was the first woman from the first movie. I don't know her name, but I believe she also marries Robert Hossein in the future and has kids with him. Maybe not even married, they just have kids together. I don't know. I don't want to send that type of slander out in the world. A Nude in a White Car was very enjoyable. Again, I would probably give it like a 7 out of 10. It was gorgeous. It's a new kind of intruder film. It's not that, it's not like Funny Games or something like that. It's a kind of a mystery film, but it's a drama, right? It's a drama about what do you want out of life, and what are you going to do to get it? Will you sacrifice your life to help a sick family member, or are you just going to leave and go on living? Or would you drag somebody down to your level to take their dreams away from them? Again, it's a really good film. I would highly recommend it. Hey, thank you for watching. This is Jack from Manelli Studio Entertainment, and thank you for watching this Radiance Film Collection recommendation. It means so much. If you're enjoying yourself, hit that subscribe button, and at the end of the film, hit the thumbs up and comment something. I'm going to talk about that later, but thank you for watching, and I highly appreciate it. I just recently hit 170 subscribers, so thank you for watching, and maybe before the end of the year, I can hit 200. So with that being said, back to the review. And I gotta say, the special features on it was amazing. It had this featurette on the history of the femme fatales in the film noir genre, and that was spectacular. So I would just say that little 16 minutes would be highly worth it just to buy the set. The narration was done by, I'm sorry, the person's name was Sam Denny. It was a woman, and she was fantastic. I absolutely loved it. I watched it a couple times. Really historically significant. Again, worth the price of admission alone is that history on the femme fatales. And last and certainly not least, A Taste of Violence. Now, I don't want to bury the lead, but this is hands down the best film in this collection. It stars Robert Hossein as a revolutionary. And the beginning, you see this beautiful train. There's something about trains in cinema that's just breathtaking. And you have this train chugging along, and it gets attacked by the revolutions, and it has this beautiful stillness after this, where the revolutionary commandeer the train, and it's almost like a photograph. But you know it's not a photograph because you see like the smokestacks going and the wind blowing, and you just have the people standing there with their guns ready. And it was gorgeous, and it was Hossein and his merry men, like a handful of his merry men, are kidnapping the president's daughter because they I don't really remember what they want, but they want something, right? Maybe prisoners. I know I'm not selling it right. I'm saying it's the best film in this whole thing, and I don't remember the course promise, but they kidnap the daughter and they're gonna ransom her to the president, maybe to listen to their demands. It's probably that, to listen to their demands, because they're revolutionaries. They're fighting for something. And A Taste of Violence is technically the first Zapata Western, which is European Westerns that take place during the Mexican Civil War. And it's a French film. So I always thought it was the spaghetti Westerns that kind of, the Italian Westerns that took that away from, or elevated from the Americans and made it a European thing. No, the French did it first. Robert Hossein did it first. And I actually was reading Letterboxd reviews on it, and this one user said it best. It is a play off The Wages of Fear, which we know in America as the William Friedkin film Sorcerer. But The Wages of Fear and Sorcerer is a French film about these drivers, and they're taking nitroglycerin through the mountains, and it's very, very dangerous, and because it might explode in any moment. And this is very similar. Robert Hossein and his revolutionaries don't have nitroglycerin, but they got the president's daughter, and they can be attacked at any moment. And they're traveling the land, and there's betrayal, there's violence, there's all these things, right? Talk of revolutionary, philosophy about revolutionaries and about fighting and the point of fighting and going off to war, leaving your family and saying, why would you leave your family? And then in the same breath saying, I didn't want my husband to go to war, but I may love him less if he didn't. So it's all these complicated feelings and emotions about fighting for your rights, fighting for your freedoms, not letting the empire bring you down. This is very similar to something like One Battle After Another that just came out this year. This is from 1961, talking about the same exact themes. And the imagery was gorgeous. I believe it was the same cinematographer as A Wages of Fear, but I could be wrong. But there's a couple of these shots where it's like it's a Kurosawa shot where they're going on this river, and then like over the hill you see one horse, then two, then three, then an army of horses line up, and it was something out of Seven Samurai. It definitely is Seven Samurai. And then again, these other shots when they're in the boat and they got the ransom, they got the daughter, and the camera just turns, and it's Robert Hossein in the foreground, in the background you see all the horses, and it was just a breathtaking shot. And there's many breathtaking shots in this film, and I don't want to spoil them all because I want you to watch this. This film is a masterpiece, 10 out of 10 masterpiece. If you're into westerns, you'll love it. If you're into black and white cinematography, you'll love it. If you're into revolutionary, politically charged films, you'll love it. And the thing is, it's called A Taste of Violence, but there isn't any violence in the film. Violence is alluded to, but it's never shown. because you know what? You don't need to show it. You don't need. You see the aftermath of violence, and that's really the cruelty of violence. Yes, there's the act of shooting somebody, and you're seeing blood and guts, and it's like a Sergio Corbucci film or a Quentin Tarantino film. Yes, that's violence, but this is, you see their ramification of violence. You see what the people go through for their principles for the violence. You see these people fighting a battle that they will lose. They cannot win, but they keep on fighting anyway. Again, very similar to one battle after another, just like that. Same thing. Same things as that film. I do wonder if Paul Thomas Anderson has seen A Taste of Violence. Send this video to Paul Thomas Anderson, and if you see this, Paul, have you seen A Taste of Violence? Comment down below, Paul. Let's chat. That's the video, guys. Again, I wasn't really trying to spoil much of these films. This is more of a recommendation video. I am recommending you The Wicked Games, 3 films of Robert Hossein. They're not all masterpieces, but they're all interesting. They're all good films, right? The worst film in here is A Nude in a White Car. And again, that's like a 7 out of 10. So I would not say it is bad at all. I would say it is a great film that has some weak moments. And then you have The Wicked Go to Hell, which have a fantastic first 45 minutes. Something akin to only The Man Escape, if you have seen that French film. Very similar to that, but a little more pulpy. A little more pulpy. And then that second half's not bad. Not bad at all. It's really good. It's really entertaining. Really tense. It's just not as good as that first half. And then A Taste of Violence is a masterpiece. I give that film 2 thumbs up. I absolutely loved it. And you should get this collection for that film. And for all the special features on the Radiance films. And all these films have a commentary. All of them. And, oh yeah, I forgot to say, in a Taste of Violence, you have Alex Cox doing an introduction of the film. The Alex Cox, Walker, Repo Man, Sid and Nancy, great filmmaker. Great filmmaker introducing the film. And he actually informed us Robert Hossein is in Once Upon a Time in the West. So I have heard of him prior to this collection, but I didn't know it was him. So he's in Once Upon a Time in the West. So next time I watch that film, I'll be on the lookout for him. With that being said, I'm Jack from Manelli Studio Entertainment, wishing you guys a happy holidays. And again, thank you to Radiance Film USA for giving me the chance to review these films, giving me reviewer copies. I hope to keep working with them in the future. I have a couple more reviews coming out from Radiance, so if you're in the fan of those, stay on the lookout. I'm a big fan. I have my Radiance films right here. I got other reviews like Yakihama BJ Blues. Fantastic film released by Radiance, and I didn't hear about it before they released the film. So I'm eternally grateful to Radiance for that. They're a company that is spreading international cinema to a world that, at least in America, we are very English film oriented, and if it's not in the Criterion Collection or a genre film from Arrow, we really don't hear about it, and they're bringing these films from other countries that, quite frankly, I've never heard of, by filmmakers I do know of, but films I've never seen, so I'm eternally grateful to Radiance for that. With that being said, again, I'm Jack from Manelli Studio Entertainment. Thank you all for watching, and comment down below if you're going to pick up the Wicked films by Robert Hossein. I would love to know. Thank you, everybody. This is Jack saying, go watch some more French films.